Hi, I'm Kadzowe, success coach and motivational speaker for Kadzowe for Africa. And I'm delighted to be able to share my story with you on how I started off as F1 and ended up with a green card. First, I'll talk a little bit about the F1 visa status. One of the most important things that you have to consider with the F1 is your grades. As a high school student, I worked really hard to ensure that my GPA was high consistently through each and every year of my college education. Two, I really made sure that I had a good understanding of English. So what I did was I stayed on campus and I had an American roommate. And that was really helpful for me to be able to get the lingo going on, as you can imagine. The third thing I would have to say that I paid attention to as an F1 student was that I set goals for myself. I had these goals that I wanted to do with something to do with communication and education from an early age. And my area of focus was actually communications media. And so when you set goals for yourself throughout the 4 years of your college education, and in addition to that, choose a major that you're passionate about, then the 4 years really becomes rewarding. And it also prepares you for the next visa status, which is the optional practical training. The optional practical training visa is one whereby you get the full year where you can actually have hands-on experience. For me, I knew that I wanted to stay in the United States beyond that, so I really had to prove myself in the land of opportunity. The first thing for you to pay attention to when it comes to the OPT, or optional practical training, is location. The United States is huge and is vast. But one of the things I noticed was that in a lot of the biggest cities such as New York and Boston and LA, which is what a lot of us are used to and where a lot of us want to go, it was very competitive for me in terms of thinking of the next visa, which is the work visa. And so I made a smart choice to be able to really explore this United States and all the wonderful states in it. So don't just limit yourself to the main and big states that you heard of when you're in your home country. Think about the richness of America. Think about those parts of America that nobody else would think about. Remember this, opportunity is everywhere. The other thing I'd have you consider when you're thinking about the OPT is that you do have to plan ahead of time. So make sure that as you could do the OPT, that you really prove yourself in the time that you have. 3 months into the OPT would be the latest that I would recommend that you begin to have the conversation with your employer about transitioning into the H1B visa process. But remember, right from day one, your time is ticking. So make sure that you work diligently and you work hard before you present your case for the H1B. The other thing I would recommend that you do under the OPT is to set up a very formal process to ask for the H1B. Make sure that you draft a letter and make sure that you're communicating with your supervisor and maybe the director of your office to let them know of your intention. In my case, my office had never done it before. In many cases, some folks may have done it. Whatever the case may be diligent and you'll be okay. The next visa I'm going to talk about obviously is the H1B visa. That is 6 years beyond the OPT, where you get to really have hands-on experience in the United States before you either go back into your home country or choose an alternate visa to stay and work in the United States. The first thing I would recommend under the H1B is to excel in your work. Because remember, even if you're going to go back to your home country or choose to pursue opportunities in the United States, you have to be an expert in your field. So remember all the hard work you put in as you came to the United States, as you conduct your day-to-day work under the H1B visa status. The second thing I would recommend under the H1B, especially if you intend to stay in the United States, is to ask early, the international student ticket. So under the H1B, I would say probably a year you get into it, or probably within the first year after you've proven your case in the job, ask your employer about the opportunities and options for the green card through work. And that way you can prepare early for it and be able to get an answer so that you can weigh what options you have at the time that the answer comes, whether the answer for the green card is positive or whether for the answer for the green card is negative. The other thing I would recommend that you do during the H1B as an international student is make sure that you save. Make sure that you save because you don't know what can happen. 6 years is a long time for you to solidify your future. Even though you're in a different country experiencing things, make sure that you're putting your pennies tucked away. That can come helpful, especially if anything happens in the process and you either have to return home or if you even transition here in the United States. And last but not least, the one piece of advice I have for you under the H1 is to enjoy the time that you have. The 6 year journey of the work visa is an exciting opportunity of growth within whatever area that you are in. So make sure that you excel. Make sure that you find a mentor who can really guide you through the process. Make sure that you're collaborating and that you're giving back and helping others as well. Because this truly is the land of opportunity. And whether it's just a 6 year journey or you are blessed with the opportunity to continue on, it is important that you enjoy that process. And that is actually what led me into the green card process. I had wonderful 6 years of work experience in a job that I loved. I had great experiences. And fortunately for me, the results were positive when it came for getting the green card. And I got that in enough time that if I had to make alternate plans, if the green card did not work, I would have enough time to still work under the H1B and depart on to other opportunities as well. I hope that you found this message really helpful as you are contemplating how to get from F1 to the green card process. As always, I'm Kadzowe on behalf of Kadzowe for Africa. If you have any questions whatsoever about the process, or if you'd like me to talk a little bit more about any one of the visa options leading to the green card, don't be afraid to send me an email. I'm more than happy to help. Have a good day.